Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. So let's just say you're in the summer between year 12 and year 13. You're just chilling right now, but as soon as you land your foot in year 13, you're going to be bombarded with, first of all, applying to university, writing your personal statement, remembering that you actually forgot half of what you learned in year 12, learning new year 13 content, preparing for mocks, applying for student finance, preparing for your entrance exams, preparing for interviews. A lot goes on in year 13. So how can we possibly make things easier for our future self, the one in year 13 who's looking back at the summer and thinking, oh my god, I wish I could have done it then, I should have done it then? It's quite simple in principle. We're going to delegate some tasks from our future self to our present self. So in this video, I'm basically going to tell you what you should be doing in the summer between year 12 and year 13 in terms of applying for university. It can be quite challenging navigating through all the different courses that are out there, what you actually want to do, which university you want to go to, writing your personal statement, what should you write in your personal statement. So I have broken this down into 5 things that you should do that will make your life a lot easier come year 13. So first off is figure out which course you want to do. You may already have figured out what you want to do. By all means, skip forward if that's the case. If you're one of the many people who are not sure about what you want to do, you're not alone. First way to narrow it down is what A-levels do you have. You can't apply to all courses with your A-levels, especially in UK universities. Sometimes you need to have specific A-levels to be able to apply to certain courses. So that already narrows it down. Then look at what your A-levels are. Look for something that uses your A-levels. So if you're doing geography, you might want to do public relations, or maybe something about climate change. Or if you're doing psychology, you might want to look at neuroscience or criminology. Branch out from what your subjects are. Make like a mind map and then look for courses along those lines. And once you've looked at courses, look at their description. Look at what you're going to be learning during those 3, 4, 5 years of the course. If that intrigues you, there you go. You found something that you might want to do. What you can do further is look at the course description. Go do some extra reading that the university maybe suggests. And if that takes your fancy, you can find a course that you want to do. Number 2 is figuring out which uni you want to go to. Now that you have your course figured out, where do you actually want to do that course from? Because there are so many excellent universities in the UK, it can be quite hard to pick one. So these are a few parameters that you can use to narrow down from all those hundreds of universities that there are in the UK. First of all, you can look at proximity. So if you want to be closer to home, obviously don't look for universities that are that far away. What entry requirements? It depends on what your predicted grades are, whether you want to go to a really academically rigorous uni or a more laid back kind of uni. Something that might again be important is whether the uni offers a year abroad or a placement year. So a placement year can be quite helpful because you already have a year of experience when you finish your course and you go out into the wide world. So that looks quite good on your CV. Or if you want to go do a year abroad, because we're a highly globalized society now. So a year abroad can teach you a lot about people relations and just experiencing a new culture, maybe living on your own. Traveling can be quite fun. So those are a few things that might help you decide which university you actually want to go to. Also, you might want to look at whether the university course that you're looking at is accredited. So accreditation is basically when a professional body approves the course. So for instance, a psychology course, I was only looking at psychology courses at universities that was accredited by the British Psychological Society, which is the BPS. That means that you can practice in the UK with that course. Another thing I forgot to mention is that you can use league tables as a guide if you want to go to a highly academic or selective university. It is something that I did, which I do not recommend, by the way, is applying to the top 5 institutions on the league table for a certain subject. Not only does this place a lot of pressure on you, it is also not the best way to determine what courses might actually be to your liking. So use league tables as a reference and not a guide. And also, rankings change every year, so there really isn't any point trying to determine the best uni anyways because of its dynamic nature. The third one that I think is really important and it's fun is actually go to the cities where the universities that you're looking at are based. So maybe you've narrowed down your search to like 10 or 5. Go to a few universities, see whether you actually vibe with the city, because if you're going to be living there for the next 3 to 5 years of your life, you actually want to know whether it is a place that you feel comfortable living in. So maybe you go to a London uni and you realize like London's really not the place for you. There's excellent unis elsewhere. Maybe you can go to Durham, or maybe you can go apply to Oxbridge, which are again fairly smaller as compared to London. So it all comes down to your subjective preference, where you feel the most comfortable. And just going to the university city might also give you a feel for what the university is like, whether it's a campus uni or whether it's based on a collegiate system, or whether it's like city university. Like, now that you've decided on which course you want to do, which university you want to go to, it is time to get your super-curriculars in the bag. So that is point number 4, getting your super-curriculars. Now, there's a difference between extracurricular activities and super-curricular activities. So page on University of Cambridge's website describes it as extracurricular activities are those outside of your chosen topic and unrelated to your studies, whereas super-curricular activities take the subject you study further and beyond what you have learned at school or college. So this is studies or study-related things that you do in your own time that is not required by your college or your sixth form. So this can be anywhere from like reading books to watching documentaries, reading journal articles written by specialists, or you can engage in it firsthand, like conduct online surveys in your school or in your year. You can also perhaps volunteer at a organization that even vaguely utilizes the degree that you might want to do. You can also do MOOCs, which are massive online open courses, and it's basically like an online webinar kind of course that has reading and some projects to do, which expands further and beyond what you've learned at school. There are many different websites that you can find MOOCs on actually. There's like Coursera, Udemy, edX. Also, you can find loads of videos just on YouTube for free, or you can also look at specialist talks on TED Talks. So there's quite a lot of options to expand your knowledge above and beyond what is learned in school, and this also demonstrates your own passion for the subject. And of course, while doing these, you might actually realize that maybe the topic, maybe the course that you chose isn't exactly to your liking. Because you haven't applied to university yet, there's nothing set in stone. So you can go and change the course that you thought you were going to apply to. Also, if you're applying for like medicine, wet med, you're probably already preparing for your BMAT and UCAT exams, so good luck for that. You might also want to prepare for some admission tests if you know the university that you potentially want to apply to has admission exams, like the STEP, that's for maths. Some universities require that, and that's usually taken at the end of year 13, but you might want to get a head start on the preparation, just because it's quite hard to balance learning something so new and advanced as the STEP maths curriculum alongside your year 13 content. And so point number 5, now that you know where you want to end up, which course you want to apply to, and now that you've done some supercurricular activities, it is time to get a start on your personal statement. So a personal statement is basically your letter to the university selling yourself. You basically, in your personal statement, you need to convince the university that they need you, or to put it more lightly, why you would like to go there. Why should they give you a place at their university, at their organization? Essentially show how passionate you are in your personal statement about the course that you're applying to. Once you actually start writing your personal statement, you're going to realize that the first draft might actually suck. I had to write 8 drafts of my personal statement before I actually gave in the final one. There's a fair chance that you're going to write a fair few drafts of your personal statement before you actually go and give it in. So if you start writing a couple of drafts while in the summer, you have a really good idea when you go into year 13 what you're actually working with, as opposed to starting from scratch. So for most universities, your personal statement actually needs to be about like 60% academic and 40% can be extracurricular. So in the 60% academic, it's like your supercurricular activities, maybe your A-levels, and the other 40% is like extracurriculars. So if you're applying to Oxbridge or like medicine or wet med or dentistry, it actually needs to be about 80% academic and 20% extracurricular activities, although my personal statement was probably more like 90-10. Use your extracurricular activities to boost your credentials. What essential soft skills has this extracurricular activity actually given you that leaves you in a better place to deal with all the university stress? So it can be like perseverance or dedication or hard work or teamwork. Use the skills that you have learned while doing your extracurriculars, whether it be sports, playing in a sports team, or like being a gymnast, like tutoring like younger kids, or like teaching younger kids martial arts, working as well, like having a part-time job alongside your studies, use the skills that these extra activities have taught you and basically tell the university that I have all these skills that I can bring into my university degree. I know how to handle stress, I know time management, I know how to be dedicated and persevere through the hard parts of the subject, and therefore I am worthy of being at university essentially. So you might want to read other people's personal statements, you might be curious and you might read other people's personal statements, which is completely fine, but do not copy. Do not copy someone else's personal statement, because UCAS, which is probably the portal that you're applying through, has a software called Copy Catch, I believe, and basically if you've copied someone else's personal statement who has previously applied through the UCAS portal, your application might just be eliminated straight out. So you don't want to put in all that hard work only for your application to not even go through to the universities that you wanted to apply to. So be original, write your own personal statement, take helps from your teachers or from your peers or from basically anyone who is willing to read and give you feedback on your personal statement. So these were 5 things that you could do during the summer between the year 12 and year 13 that makes your life a bit easier in year 13. So as always, I've linked my blog post down below if you want to read some extra information that I have about this topic. Also, all the links to the websites that I mentioned will be in my blog and in the description down below, so do go check that out. Additionally, if you're applying to Oxford or Cambridge, be sure to check this video out in which I tell you about the things that I did well and the things that I did not do so well, so you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully have a better outcome than I did. That's it for now. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys!